Okay folks, welcome to another episode of moneystream.com.au. My name's John, and today we're just concluding on the episodes prior, a week or two ago, could be 2.5 weeks ago, where we were talking about property development and subdivision. So today we're going to be recapping and concluding on the process for once you've located your parcel of land or lands and so forth, the steps that you should take in proposing to go to council, submit applications for plans, permits to construct dwellings or dwelling and subdivide the parcel land. So the steps you need to follow in order to get to the stage, of course, to then allocate a reputable builder or construction company to erect, build whatever you're building, in this case domestic. So let's get on with it, folks. We'll only take a few minutes today to conclude, and then I'll provide the information here step by step, and it'll give you some sort of understanding of how this all works. So here we go, folks. Stay tuned. Okay folks, so again we're talking about subdivision process once you've located, purchased, settled on a property, or you may have inherited, or you've already got land, etc., whatever the case may be. So first step, of course, is to talk to a town planner. One of the many things of success here, of course, is again get as much advice as possible, engage with the professionals, and usually if we follow the recipe, everything works out. So again, in this case, this is a bit of education. You may want to take it on board, you may not, you may already have the experience, etc., etc. But this is the process that one would follow. So engage a town planner, where they also be referred to as a surveyor in Victoria, if you're in Victoria here. And this will be your main person to go to. So here we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to achieve, of course, is to do a fee proposal for you, and a decent, reputable town planner also includes any extra costs outside their fees, like council contributions, relevant development and application fees. So that's the first step. Second step, of course, is good rapport, and also open and honest dialogue is absolutely paramount here. So again, talking to your town planner, make them aware of any irregularities, any unsavoury situations that you may be aware of, etc., etc. Trees and goodness knows what, fire hydrants, etc. Anything at all, let them know up front, because everything takes time, and this is not a process that takes only a week or two or three. It takes a bit longer than that. So again, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, so to speak, if I can use that term, is absolutely paramount. So keep in contact with your town planner on all things. Now, public notification with any change or use of configuration to a property, of course, public has a right, the opportunity to bring up any grievances. So you may see from time to time, when you see developments, that there's there used to be a board out the front with plastic covering, etc., with all sorts of information. That means that everyone has a right, neighbours, to put up their grievances and so forth. So that's fairly standard. It's a public notification, and your town planner should manage all this for you, and also the intentions of the local residents, neighbours, whatever their grievances may be. Now, drafting the newly proposed lots. This is where the excitement starts, where your town planner, of course, engages with a draftsperson, that draws up the plans, etc., of the construction, the dwellings, whatever you're building, and all the boundaries they're defined, and access points, etc., etc. So this is usually where a lot of questions get asked a little bit like a think tank. But from the town planner's point of view and the draftsperson, they know exactly what they're doing. It's just that maybe you and I, etc., people that are actually paying for all this, it becomes an exciting time and also a big question time. So yeah, ask away as many questions to them as you have. Now, submitting the application, of course, phase one, this is largely done by the town planner, and yeah, basically where the documentation is created, it's all put together, ready for submission, and it all goes through your relevant local council, where they take the plans, etc. They liaise with the town planner, and they go through all the drawings, all the sites, whatever you're trying to build, how tall, how large, boundaries, etc., etc. So that's phase one. Now, with installing services where you engage contractors, you need to get some quotes there. So, services, etc., where sewers go, there's stormwater, driveways, if you have your all sorts of things, fences might need to be erected, pulled down, trees taken out, whatever the case may be. These are where contractors are engaged. So that comes after phase one. Now, approval of application. This is a very, very exciting time when you actually get the written approval. If and when you get that, of course, again, time is the essence here. But assuming council does approve the application and ready to subdivide, so you've got everything ready, so to speak, up until this point, then the conditional approval can become a little daunting, of course. There might be lists, there usually is a list, depending how long, of course, may differ from site to site, where the council has certain limitations or items that need to be addressed, revised, reviewed by the town planner, draftsman, architect, and these are sort of points where they need to be adjusted. So there might be some tweaking. Again, that's where the town planner and architect, draftsperson get together and put pen to paper, work with council, in terms of seeking a final approval. So I guess it's like if you consider it a loan, it's pending, subject to, which most of us have been there. And then you get all the information together, you submit it again. It won't take as long, of course, because it doesn't go right through to what it was. And once you meet all those conditions, of course, the council may also ask you to apply for works, operational works, of course, where a permit or substantial structural elements to be managed on site. Now, step 8 is where you prepare your financier. Now, of course, we're talking about subdividing here, so one large parcel of land noted on a title, which then becomes more than one, however many it may be, depending on the size of the lot, depending on the council criteria, etc., etc. So the submitting of the security to the financier means that your one block that was one large parcel now becomes more than one. So the security of which your lender would be based on is going to change, means you need to change the agreement with your financier. Again, it's a legally binding contract. Normally the lender and you, or several of you, depending how many are on the title, need to get together and discuss. So that's very, very important, and we don't want to forget that step. Now, phase 2 of submitting the application, once the town planner and yourself or yourselves are all in agreement, and all the conditions have been met from council, where they've put conditions that have to be met. Once all that's approved, or got together all the documents, dotted all the I's, all the T's, you've got all the relevant information together. Again, need to meet up with council, let them know that it's all been completed. All the supporting documents, of course, need to be submitted to council, and once again the town planner